And we are rolling here. Here we are today with Brad Burton. Is that close enough for you?
Nearly. Burton.
Brad Burton. He is the founder of 4 Networking, which is the largest business networking. How do you call it?
UK, the largest joined up business network in the UK.
Mate, basically, we want to talk about today is one of the things I really want to talk about is happiness, because what we do sometimes is we get so focused on achieving that gold medal or that X amount of money. You went through a bit of a stage.
I think that's a fair assessment, Mark.
You set up this networking business and you nearly had a breakdown, mate.
No, I didn't nearly have a breakdown. I had a breakdown. It's true. Just to be clear, I started this business off with 25 grand in debt, no income. I used to deliver pizzas to keep my business afloat. Fast forward, it was 7 years, probably as a £2 million business back then, and I had a nervous breakdown. The pressure of running a business got to me, but it wasn't only a pressure of running a business, it was a pressure of running a life as well. And it just got too much. And I said this before to you off camera, which is the whole piece about you go to the gym and you're lifting weights and you're lifting, you're bench pressing, you're curling, you've got your muscles, your legs and so forth. Well, guess what? Your brain is a muscle. And people forget that and just think they can put more and more weight on that brain, on that muscle. And any other muscle group would tear, it would rip, it would strain, cause pressure. But somewhere along the way we forget that our brain is a muscle. And that's something that happened to me. I unravelled. So 3 years ago, I'm alright now, bub. Right, well 3 years ago I unravelled. And the great thing about deconstruction is you get the opportunity to rebuild yourself, and I've rebuilt myself differently.
Yeah. What would you say are the sort of keys to success? Because you've taken this from basically nothing 10 years ago.
5,000 meetings now we run.
5,000 meetings around the country, and it's the turnover is 23.
No, I can't tell you.
It's millions. It's a lot anyway.
Yeah, it is. But here's the thing with this. When I started this thing off, nobody gave me a chance. And even somewhere along the way, is what you've got to do is you've almost got to blag yourself. See, when I started this organisation off, I said, welcome to the future of business networking. And people laughed in my face. People told me it'd never work. And if I'd listened to those people, they'd have been absolutely right, but I chose to ignore them. If I said to you, I'm a boxer, I'm the greatest, who am I talking about?
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, that's right, the greatest of all time. Was he the greatest?
No.
Why not?
Because he lost so many.
Right, he got lost.
Calzaghe didn't lose.
Right, absolutely, our Joe. But here's the thing, he told everyone he was the greatest, and 50 years on, or 40 years on, if you ask people
still believe it.
Absolutely. And this is the thing, so what I've done is, with my whole career, is I've almost blagged myself. I say I'm the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. And people say, Brad, how did you become the UK's #1 motivational business speaker? I just made a fucking website and said I'm the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. And I get booked. It's true, market. I get booked. No, but
Bentley, JCB,
the business show I'm headlining. So somewhere along the way, you've got to create future history, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to have a vision the likes of which people laugh at you, and that's what I've had throughout this. And I don't have a qualification to my name, not one. I'm 25 grand in debt when I started this business off. My dad was a heroin addict. I was brought up in the mean streets of Manchester. My mum brought me up as a single.
Didn't your house get shot out or something?
Yeah. Back in '93, I got 2 bullets through my window.
Good old Manchester.
Gunchester. But I'll tell you something about that. Is that, listen, you're a former commando, so you know all about courage under fire, but everything changes, because what happened for me, this whole piece where everything that was so important to me the day before that happened, fell away, and I moved away 20 odd years ago, and it was the worst day of my life, fast forward 20 odd years, best thing that ever happened to me, because if I'd not had those gunshots through my window, I wouldn't be sat here talking to you, I wouldn't run 4 networking, I wouldn't have written 3 books, I wouldn't be a motivational speaker. So everything happens for a reason, even the shitty stuff. And everyone's got a background. I got locked in a coal shed when I was 8 by my dad, whatever. Get over it. Because my teacher, it was true, my teacher said to me, I'd never amount to anything. He said I'd never amount to anything. And you know what? Up until 10 years ago, he was fucking right on the money. But I changed, and it's never too late to change direction. If you're going the wrong way, change direction, which is what I've done. And I'm pretty unexceptional, right? Up until 31, I used to sit there smoking weed every day. Oh, my life's shit. I'd wake up the next day, guess what? My life's still shit, so you know what to do? Smoke some more weed. And eventually, maybe your life's shit because you're smoking weed. So I changed stuff up. I said, you know what? I've got to stop masking the stuff that's going on in my life and start doing something positive. And I'll tell you something, to get to C, where everyone wants to be, you've got to go via A and B. And A and B is the tough bit. A and B is the delivering pizzas. A and B is doing the stuff you don't want to do. Yeah. A and B is like the bit where you want to quit. Because in the last 10 years of me running this business for networking, I stepped down as managing director yesterday. 10 years to the day. These last 10 years, I've wanted to quit this organisation 11 times. So 0 not quitting, 10 quitting. I've been 9.8, 9.9, 11 times. And the reason that I didn't quit is I promised my mum I'd buy a private healthcare. She's now 72. I'm paying 160 quid a month. So if I can afford to pay 160 pound a month, bear in mind, I used to be on a dole. I've done 4 years in the dole. I used to live on 200 quid a month, right? So if I can afford to pay my mum private healthcare, I'm doing all right, 160 quid. And I also promised my boy, when I started this business off, I promised him I was going to take him to Disney World. I'm delivering pizzas. How on earth was I going to take my boy delivering pizzas, who was then like 1 or 2, whatever, to Disney World? You know what? For the last 7 years, I've done it. I've taken him to Disney World every single year for the last 7 years. So it keeps you...
7.
Absolutely, a lucky number.
7, mate.
No, but it keeps you focused. So if you can't do it for yourself, do it for someone you love. Do it for your mum, do it for your family, do it for whatever. Do it for your legacy. Because if your only motivation, Mark, is money, it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough, because if you get a whack in the mouth...
And you were earning a big amount of money at one stage in your life. Back, you know, you're doing well now, but back then you were earning so much money, but you were miserable. Yeah, well, this is the thing. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being happy, 1 being miserable. I was a 2 or a 3. I was broken. I was earning a whole lot more money, but I was miserable. You fast forward now, 3 years on, I'm making less money. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm an 8 or a 9. So what I say to people is this: chase happiness, not money. Because I know people who are very wealthy. Yeah. No, but I know people who are very wealthy. I mean, more money than I could possibly dream of. Yeah. But they're no happier than you or I. Because what happens is it changes everything. So when you're flying first class around the world, it's no longer special. It's no longer a treat. It's a given that's standard. So now you, instead of buying a £45 a bottle to celebrate of champagne, you're now buying a £1,000 one. So wouldn't it be better if you didn't? Why are you working to spend money the likes of which doesn't really make you happy? So I've just changed everything. And the great thing about a deconstruction, which is what I had when I had that nervous breakdown 3 years ago, and just to put this in perspective to those that don't know what a nervous breakdown is, it means you've gone temporarily fucking mad. Right, that's the reality of it. I unravelled, as in gone, shot to bits. Yeah. But the great thing about deconstruction is you get your chance to rebuild yourself differently, and I have done. And my focus now is on happiness, it's on family, it's less about Lamborghinis, it's less about shit like that, which is just not important anymore. Yeah. So what would you say to people, because your style of dress, for example, is extremely unconventional. It's like most people, you're going to be in a business suit, you're going to be in a business suit. How did you just say, nah, fuck this? Yes. I'm not gonna, that's what you said. That's it. I'm not going to be in a business suit. No. I am me, basically. So the truth is, I can't be fucking arsed going to get dry cleaning out of the Johnson's dry cleaners. That's the reality of it. I can't be arsed getting shirts on. Hey, and listen, I went there to Johnson's dry cleaners and I had a suit and 2 shirts, whatever, and he said it's 37 quid. And I'm like, does this come with a free PlayStation 4? What on earth? And it was at that point I went, I'm fucking wearing shirts and ties and all that nonsense. It's not me. So I wear jeans, trainers and t-shirt, and guess what? Would I, am I any less effective as a result of it? I don't give two fucks. I don't have to I don't have to do anything for anyone. I got invited to some award ceremony, black tie event. I said, thanks for the invite. I'm not interested. Why not? Because I can't be arsed wearing a dicky bow and all that shit. Do you know what I couldn't see, mate? Like, you've achieved so much. I mean, I let's say, for example, if people get knighted and stuff, I really could not visualise you getting on your knees in front of anybody. Hey, listen, I mean, look, in all fairness, I respect the Queen, I respect the monarchy. I mean, I'd probably prefer a republic, but I'm never going to get an award. There's no award ever. I'm never going to get an OBE, I'm never going to get an MBE. But here's the thing. You'd be like, cheers, love. No, yeah, cheers, fist bump. No, but the reality is I'm never going to get any of that stuff. So why would what is the point in me trying to... Here's the thing, it's a bit like life. What is the point in me trying to conform in order to win those medals and stuff? For what purpose? Yeah. What about this? That I've got a medal that I'm happy that I've been awarded in life. That actually some lad like me, a working class lad with no qualifications to my name, has somewhere along the way done all right. And this says to me that any single individual out there can do this. But what you've got to do is this, you've got to throw the switch. Because I'm still the same dickhead that I was 10 years ago. The difference is I've applied myself differently. I've thrown that switch because when your head's down and you're feeling sorry for yourself, like for instance, if you're going for an interview, right? If you're going for an interview for a job, you're on your best behaviour. If you're having a first date, you're on your best behaviour. You're always smiling more. And then somewhere along the way, you get involved with your job, and then 6 months later, you're pissed off with it. What I've got interview mentality. It's always on. I'm always looking for opportunity. I'm always smiling. I'm always doing what I can to be as helpful as I can, and consequently, people are more helpful back to me. How important is it to network? Because that is your whole business. How important is it to be around the right people? No question. You know, I've had to, over the course of the last X amount of years, I've had to shed some of my old friends.
because not that I don't love them anymore, but just that they're not helpful for me. They're not helpful being around that, because they'll end up dragging me down as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean I don't care. It means that in order for me to move on and help people who can be helped, because I fight for the underdog all day long, and I'm probably been guilty of that, of being too soft. But one bit of advice I'd give any single individual who's watching this: I used to give my last pound to a big issue salesman. I was that sort of guy.
Yeah.
And I'll give you some advice. It's a bit like when you're on a plane, it says, in the event of an accident, place your own oxygen mask on before you help other people. And I realised something. The more clout I've got, the more money, the more power, the more influence that I've got, the more people I can help. The old days, it would be about giving me a last penny, so I never got my shots off. So I needed to be strong. I realised I needed to be strong in order to help more people, and that's what I want to do.
And that, I remember Richard Branson saying something that because of the position he's in, he can help so many people, whereas before
you barely help yourself. That's right.
What would you say are the biggest enemies of success?
Self-doubt, 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 self-doubt. That's it. I've had self-doubt, loads of it in my life, and somewhere along the way, I'm sort of waiting for somebody to tap me on the shoulder and say, "Brad, you've been found out. Fuck off." you know. So self-doubt is something that it's not exclusive to me. It's not exclusive to any entrepreneur that I talk to. So self-doubt, and actually, once you realise that every single person who's a success, somewhere along the way, had self-doubt. Every single person thought he was a fraud. And actually, if you can do the job, you're qualified. You don't need a piece of paper.
Yeah. What would you say to people who have this like massive dream and think, God, I want to go and do this, but I've got this sort of like a 9-to-5 job. I feel as if I'm doing nothing spectacular. And all my friends will just laugh at me. What would you say to that sort of person that wants to do something really amazing? So let me ask you this question: if it doesn't work out, if you go it alone, you walk out of a job and it doesn't work out, what do you do? Go back and get a proper job, which is where you started from, the exact starting point. No self-employed person I've ever encountered in 10 years has starved to death. No.
So what's the risk? The risk is it doesn't work out. The risk is that you can't have £100 in your pocket to go out on the piss. The risk is, so you look at my situation now, it's taken 10 years to get to this point, and people say, oh, Brad, you're very lucky. You're lucky. I had a nervous breakdown, nearly lost my marriage. Nothing lucky about that. So somewhere along the way, there's a price to pay for success, and you need to know what that price is. Are you willing to lose your marriage? Are you willing to lose your friend? Are you willing to do 1,000 miles a week? What are you willing to do? And once you know what you're willing to put into this for success, then you know whether you're willing to play the game or not.
Yeah. Well, the thing that most impressed me with your thing today was literally you've taken a step back now.
Yeah.
You've created more than anybody would ever think that you've created, and now you're saying, now I'm going to hand it over to a new managing director, and I'm going to take some more time with my family.
Correct.
So,
and I was going to just say that thing about the family. That's not just. I'm not just saying it to be dramatic, or I'm not just saying it just to sound like it's a soundbite. That's legit. I've got to reconnect with my family because I've been so focused on the goal that. You're full of 100 mile an hour that way, and you're not looking left and right. I've got to go. My boy's now 12. When I started this thing, he was 1 or 2-year-old. Do you know what I mean? So now's the time. So I'm really excited about it. And actually, once again, if I jossed it after this, my legacy, by rights, I should have been a bank robber.
You look like a bank robber.
Well, listen, I know I do, and that's the thing. Yeah, right. Hey, listen, I'm not joking. I know that, right? So
let's get a stock in and just whack it over. You'll be there, mate.
Right. So I've come from the mean streets of Manchester, and somewhere along the way, I've applied myself differently to what my programming was. My programming said you should have been this, this, and this. Nah, I decided that actually I wanted to make a positive difference, and there's something about me being a gruff mancunian that looks like a drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer, by the way, anymore, but you can scrub that. But the point I'm making is somewhere along the way is these skills that I've got, these ability to look a bit of a roughneck, has served me in a way that people have underestimated me. Yeah. People have got me wrong. And if you're getting me wrong, how many people out there are you getting wrong? And that's the thing. Stop looking at people with pound notes over their heads. Seriously, start treating everyone the same with respect.
Exactly. I interviewed someone recently, and he said two of the things that he hates is bullying and belittling people as well. And there's a lot of that goes on, isn't there? So why do you think people, when they get to a certain level of achievement, they're like? I had
a guy come up to me, Mark, a couple of weeks back at a trade show, and he went, Brad, hello. And I knew he was whining, he's readying himself up to say something. He said, Brad, your style's not for everyone. That's interesting. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to share that with me. Let me ask you a question. I said, I'll give you 100 quid if you can answer this right. Give me a name. my style's not for everyone, right? He said, yes, absolutely. I said, you name one person in the history of humanity whose style is for everyone, and I'll give you £100 if you get a name. And he went, Santa Claus. I went, okay, well, I can give you 6 billion people who don't like Santa Claus.
Muslims,
right,
and flipping Hindus,
that's not for them. Right, so therefore,
Buddhists.
Right. So therefore, no one's style is for everyone. Yeah. But what we end up doing is we end up trying to conform and be something we're not in order to appease what we think people want to be in business. So here's the crazy thing: be you. Be you. This is what I'm doing now. So my life was going shit when I was trying to pretend to be something I'm not. Now I'm being me. My life's on the ascension.
The other thing as well is people are generally scared to start something. It's like, I've started this with my cameras and stuff like that. I don't even know if your fucking head's been in shot half the time, mate. But exactly. Do you think? Go on.
No. Don't get it perfect. Just get it going.
Yeah.
Don't get it perfect, just get it going. The fact is, here's the thing, the fact is you've got off your arse to come from South Wales to 200 fucking mile to whatever price point it's costing you in order to be here. That says to me more than everything, even if my fucking head's chopped off, I couldn't give two fucks. You ring me at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, Brad, I need a favour, I've got a dead body in my boot, have you got a hacksaw? Right? Right? Probably a bad example. You can cut that as well.
Get this on every interview.
No, but I'm serious. You've built affinity. I've seen you over at the business show. So somewhere along the way, you're building these relationships up. Whether this is cut off or not, I couldn't give two fucks. The reality is, you and I have met, and you've proven beyond the shadow of a doubt, you go focused, and you've gone out your way, whatever expenses has cost, in order to get this thing together. That says to me that you've got what it takes. Now, some people would go, I can't be arsed doing that. I've only got a day off work. And actually, those people will never form a relationship. So what you're doing is what it takes in order to get this thing moving. Whether it works or whether it doesn't, what you've done is you've got a transferable network. You've met some amazing people. You've got their numbers on your phone. Wow. All of a sudden, you're in a stronger position than you was before you started this thing off.
And that's the funny thing, isn't it? I mean, it's just people... One of the things they say is, how do you get all these people? I say,
ring them up, contact them.
Ask them. How did you get Sir Randall Fines 2 days ago? I was like, I messaged his website. Come on, and it is. So it's just starting, isn't it?
That's right, totally.
So, what would you say? Just to finish off now, 3 keys to happiness.
Be yourself. Fundamentally, be yourself. Right. If you're running, so that's number one. If you're running a business and you're struggling financially, there's 2 things here. Get yourself out of survival mode. So if you and I were having a fight now, you decided to have a fight with me, you would win, right? Trust me, he'd win, right? But if you and I were having
pull out a gun though.
No, listen, trust me, let me explain something. The best form of self-defense from someone like you is running, right? But if you had a fight with me, right, if you come over and attack me now, what would happen is I wouldn't be thinking about, what am I having for tea, or I've got a drive to do. I'm in survival mode, so I've got to get out of this situation. Yeah. This is what happens in businesses. People are in survival mode, so they're not thinking straight, so you're doing anything, whatever it takes to get you out of there. So you're taking shit jobs. My mortgage is going out in 3 days' time, so I know I'll take a shit job. And then when a proper job comes along, you can't take it, so you've got to get yourself out of survival mode. Get yourself out of survival mode, and only when you get yourself out of survival mode can you get into entrepreneurial mode. Entrepreneurial mode is when you've got clean thinking and you can go, right, okay, let's be strategic and do this, which is where I'm at now. I'm getting myself into that entrepreneurial mode. And the other thing is that I can say this now, because I've not had a pot to piss in my life, but I promise you, and it only makes sense when you get to this stage, money doesn't make you happy. I'll tell you that now, money doesn't make you happy. I had loads of money and I was unhealthy. So this is what I'd say, don't end up, I'd rather if you can have a dream, have £1 million business and be happy and married. Don't have a £2 million business and be unhappy and divorced. That's what I'd say to people. And also the question that I'd ask anyone is this, how much is enough? Ask yourself a question, how much is enough? Right, no, because here's the thing, I've got a 5-bedroom house now. I've come from council estates to Manchester, right, in fucking 2-bedroom fucking terraced houses like Coronation Street, and I've got a 5-bedroom house in Somerset, in a village, and I've got 1 room that I don't go in. Now, when I started this business off, I wanted to have a house with 10 bedrooms and a double staircase like something out of the fucking Titanic. If I did that, if I worked my bollocks off to go and get that, guess what? I'll just have 6 fucking rooms that I couldn't go in. So what are you doing it for? How much is enough? I've got a spare room. So somewhere along the way, I've ended up getting someone's vision about what success is. That you need a big house, or you should have a Learjet, or you said, fuck that. You make your happiness about what you want. And if your happiness is having a skull on a Friday night, watching television, fucking great. Don't think you've got to be some fucking big entrepreneur in order to enjoy your life.
Do you know, the incredible thing that I've found, and I've studied sort of successful people for years, and it's like if you look at the most famous people over the history, say, I don't have a religion, but you know, I'm fine with people.
Yeah.
But Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi,
I get it.
They weren't billionaires.
No.
Isn't that amazing? But they had something a little bit more.
I get it. Listen, it's all about that, not self-actualization they call it, but it's all about being happy with yourself.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, I remember when I was walking down Weston-super High Street when I first moved from Manchester to Somerset, I remember kicking a can. And I had no one to kick that can back to me. Now, anywhere in this UK that I can go, I've got friends, right? Yeah. So from that point where I felt lonely and that thing stuck with me, and you'll have your own story, every single person will have their own can kicking, every single person will have something that sticks with them. Look at that, tune into that whole thing, that time so you can vividly remember that memory, because that vivid memory, that anchor in your mind, that'll drive you forward to do something positive with your life.
Fantastic. Where can people go to? You got a website?
Sure. Find me at bradburton.biz and also for networking. But you'll also, if you Google the UK's #1 motivational business speaker, fucking 20-30 pages of it.
And you became the new motivational speaker. The UK's top motivational speaker because you created a website and said, I'm the fucking top motivational speaker. You know what I'm going to do, mate?
Go on, Star.
I'm going to create a website, Europe's top motivational speaker.
Boom, there you go. We've got that one. Exactly.
So I've got you as the UK.
That's it.
Tony Robbins probably
America.
Yeah,
boom, I'll do that.
Mate,
there you go, we've got that one sussed.
Right, also book. I want to... Where's your books, mate?
Oh, they're over there, Star.
Hang on a minute. Hang on now. There's one there, Get Off Your Ass.
Get Off Your Ass 2. So my first book's called Get Off Your Ass 2, and Life Business Just Got Easier. And in fact, if you go on Amazon, you'll find them the highest rated and reviewed business author on Amazon. Genuinely not a stickers.
I've seen it.
That's true.
And it's a fantastic book.
Good.
Can you sign one and give away?
Of course I can, mate. I'll do that, absolutely.
This is a bit of a confined space, so that's why we're almost kissing. Brad's wife, if you're watching, don't worry. We're fine, we're good. Brad Burton, thank you very much, mate. It's been an honour and a pleasure, mate.
Thank you, friend.